But just from the 20th chapter of John's Gospel, I want to read just these few verses. I want to start at the 19th verse. Then the same day, as the evening began, the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in their midst and said unto them, Peace be unto you. And when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw their Lord. Then said Jesus unto them again, Peace be unto you. As my Father has sent me, even so I send you. And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, Receive ye the Holy Ghost. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about benefits of the resurrection. Benefits. God help me. Benefits of the resurrection. I heard that question from a young lady. I was on the plane with a young lady not so long ago. And she saw my collar and she saw me reading from the Bible. And she said, Sir, what are you doing? I said, I'm preparing a sermon for Easter. I want to talk about the resurrected Jesus. And she looked at me and she said, Sir, do you really believe that there was a bodily resurrection? She said, I took a couple of courses in seminary, and I had a professor who said that the resurrection was spiritual at best and figurative, that there is no such thing as a bodily resurrection. She went and said, Sir, have you had any schooling? I said, yes, some. And she said, Sir, have you ever heard of the swoon theory? That Jesus didn't really die. He went into a semi-coma. And in that semi-coma, when they put him in the tomb, because of the spices and the coolness of the air, he was revived. And he went on off, and his disciples assumed that he was resurrected, that he did not die really in the first place. And I killed that argument right quickly. I said, how can a man roll the stone away who had had his hands pierced and his feet pierced and a sword pierced him in the side? How could he get up and walk on nail-pierced feet? She said, well, if you've heard of the swoon theory, have you heard of the hallucination spirit? Have you heard of the hallucination theory? You know, some folks, time they learn one big word, they get beside themselves. And she said, have you heard of the hallucination spirit? That the disciples hallucinated because their grief was so heavy that they hallucinated and believed that Christ, they wanted to believe it. And I killed that one right quick because I said to her, hallucination usually comes to an individual privately. But how do you explain 500 people hallucinating at the same time? That's another theory. By a pseudo-theologian by the name of Kershaw Lake. Kershaw Lake believed that the people buried Jesus in the wrong grave. I killed that one right quick because I said to her, soldiers knew where the graves were, and they were surrounding the grave to keep grave robbers from coming, taking the body. And then she said there was one final one that they told us, the professor told us in seminary, that the Jewish people believed that somebody stole his body. I killed that one right quick too because all they had to do was produce it and say he's dead. Never produced the body of Jesus. And she said, how do you explain it? How can you explain the resurrection of Jesus? I'm a cerebral person. I need to understand, how do you explain the resurrection of Jesus. And I told her I can't. But I have faith enough to believe it, because there are a lot of things I don't understand and can't explain. I can't explain why a black cow would eat green grass and give white milk. I cannot explain how through a cable wire I can sit in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I sat a few years ago and see what's going on in Los Angeles. I can explain how you can blow in your hands at winter and cool your hands, amen, and warm your hands, right? And yet blow in your coffee and cool it. There are some things in life you just simply cannot understand. I can't understand how a mother and a baby is born and they both go through the very shadow of death. Yet they come back to life. I don't understand how God carpeted the earth with green grass and tacked it down with flowers, daffodils, tulips, roses. There are some things you just can't understand. She said, well, how can you help me? I knew I had it then, amen. I said, lean over here, baby, right quick. And let me read the 20th chapter of John 2. And let me tell you about Mary Magdalene. A woman that Jesus had cleaned up from his rough days. Anybody ever cleaned up from his rough days? Anybody here that Jesus has cleansed, dusted you off and cleaned you up and looked beyond your faults and saw your needs? After the death of Jesus, the crucifixion of Jesus, she showed up one morning going to the tomb looking for death. But when she got there, she found life. Yes. But she looked in the tomb, and the tomb was empty. All she saw were the grave clothes. And tears in her eyes, she saw two angels, one dressed in white, one sitting at the head of the tomb and one sitting at the foot of the tomb. And she said to them, she looked at them, she wondered where her Lord was. And they asked her, woman, why are you weeping? Yes. Right. Wish I had a witness here. Why are you weeping? And she looked at him, and she said to him, I'm weeping because they have taken away my Lord. Yes. Yes. I read that again this morning in preparation for this message. I'm a preacher that morning. They've taken away our Lord. Taking him out of the school. Well, taking him out of the home. Even some churches have taken the Lord out of the choir. Got choir members singing high notes and living low lives. Got preachers in the pulpit possessing nothing but a holler and a call. Looked around and she saw someone through her tears that she thought was the gardener. Yes. And she said, sir, they've taken away my Lord, and let me know where he lives. If I find out where he is, I can go get him. Jesus called her by her name. He said, Mary. And that reminds me of the 10th chapter of Luke's gospel where it said, my sheep. My sheep know my voice. When Mary heard him, she said, Rabboni. Rabboni. Teacher. Master. She wanted to, I didn't see this in the Bible, but I declare I almost believe it because she looked like, I think she went and grabbed it. She was so glad to see the one she loved. It appears to me, and this is my sanctified imagination, I think she went and grabbed him because he said, touch not. Yes. Don't touch me. I have not yet ascended to my Father. He said, but go and tell those folks that I'm alive. And she benefited from the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And she went and told Peter and John that I've seen the Christ. And you know, when you've seen him, you can't help but go tell him. When you really know him, you can't help but tell somebody what he's done for you. Like, you can't help but show some emotion. I see folks who sit up in church and don't want to shout. I tell them, if you don't want to shout, just get